What's going on, y'all? This Legacy Room. I got two people here. They're both entrepreneurs. Well, we're all entrepreneurs, but they got proof. They real life right now. So I got my man Johnny. He a barber. You know what I mean? Mentor of mine. One of my mentors in the game. And then we got a new guest. His name is John.
All right, here he goes.
Second, I'm joking.
Jay, just put the mic in the middle. Yeah.
I got you.
We all good. It's gonna be short. And then you already know me and Jay the bodybuilder, and we got me, the barber, entrepreneur. We're gonna be here. All right, so boom. The reason why I have these two guests here because they're entrepreneurs, and we went out bowling. We have a Bible study that we go to all the time, and one of those times we went bowling, and you know, me and Johnny like to pay for everything, and I didn't really know what John was on. And he started paying for everybody. He said, nah, I'm going to pay it off. I'm looking, he like that? I got to find out how he like that. So me and him had a conversation. And after we had a conversation, he broke down what business that he's doing. And then I reached out to him because, you know, Legacy Room is building a legacy. But not the most important tool, but a tool that you need is money. And you need a stream of income. And you need a stream of income so you can break out the matrix or have the opportunity to move the way you want to move. So he brought up this industry called online arbitrage, right? So I was very curious about that. So I said, yo, it'd be dope if he talks about that. Not just about the industry himself, but just being an entrepreneur, a solo entrepreneur. He doesn't have to deal with customers. Well, he does have to deal with customers, but he doesn't have to deal with employees. It's something that he has to deal with by himself, you know? And that's different from what I'm going through. That's different between Johnny goes through. That's different between Jay. And I wanted to have that outside perspective of a solo entrepreneur. Someone that if he doesn't put in the work, the business fails. He didn't set up a system where he can leave and the business still operates. This is a business where if he does not put that product out, it's done. But anyways, talk to us about a little bit of online arbitrage, what it is, how'd you get into it, how'd you start, all that stuff.
All right, so online arbitrage is pretty simple. I call it OA for short. But what you're doing is you're just going out and sourcing random products, whether they could be multivitamins, they could be protein powder. It could probably even be hangers or something small like that. But you're going out and finding that online, whether it be at a Walmart, a Target, Rite Aid, Best Buy, or whatever. And then you'll use pretty much any type of selling platform like an eBay, Amazon, OfferUp, anything like that, and you'll create a listing and you'll sell it for profit. So one of my biggest things, not to know, I talked to Zay about this when we was at bowling, was I made a really good living off of selling hangers, which these hangers right now at Walmart, I'm not wrong, they're like $3.98 right now. But when you're selling them on Amazon, and if you look them up, they're like $15. And a lot of people don't think to look around to actually find something. Their first thought is, oh, well, Amazon gonna have it for me. So it's kind of creating the supply that someone needs without them having to go around looking for it, and you look for it for yourself. Pretty simple, honestly.
What do you guys think online arbitrage was when you first heard me say it?
Online arbitrage to me, I thought it was some kind of digital product, honestly, like a course, workout plan, something like that. Any kind of course. I know a lot of people are doing all now, so it might be.
I thought it was, I don't know, it was like a fancy name, like for like a, I don't know, like arbitrage sounds like a villain or like a robot or something.
That's a wonderful edit.
I'm not even mad at that one. But like, to go off what Jaden says, like that technically can be arbitrage. Arbitrage just means that you're selling something. That's it's just
what's the exact definition?
Let's look that up actually, because I don't know the exact one off the top of my head. The simulation is buying and selling of securities, currencies, or commodities in different markets or derivative forms in order to take advantage of deferring prices for the same asset.
So it's basically selling a product at a higher margin.
It's more selling a product where the prices differ from place to place.
So it doesn't matter if it was higher or lower. It's just selling it at a different price.
Just selling it place to place. That's all arbitrage is.
So it's like wholesaling.
Wholesale, yeah, can be a form of arbitrage, but there's two different ways of wholesale. There's having a distributor, and there's wholesaling your own specific products. Which, if you have your own products, you can ship 3,500. You feel me? I know you in the fitness. You could ship 3,500 bags of protein powder that you made straight off the bat. That's wholesale. But then you could go to GNC and get 2,000 of them and ship them out. That's also wholesale. It just depends on the eye of the person doing it.
I'm talking about like wholesale, like real estate, where like they find a cheap house
Okay.
and then they go and like yeah,
Like a fixer.
and then they find a house that's like 10,000,
Mhm.
and then they find a buyer.
Get it under contract.
Yeah, no, they find a buyer. Yeah, they get under contract. Like, I got this for 10,000, but I told this buyer that it's
40,000.
40,000.
Yeah.
And then you're at the end. You're just kind of putting these two
Exactly.
together.
You're bringing the customer to what they want, but at a different price.
Yeah, you're making the difference of what you're doing.
Exactly. You're pretty much the connector of everything. You're how like
You're the bridge.
you're the braid.
If you're if you're a superhero in your story, in your hero's journey, you'd be called the bridge.
You're the bridge. I actually like that. I might steal that for myself. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just being the bridge of all that.
All right, so how'd you start?
So I started on this is actually a really funny story, but pretty much it was, I want to say it was late 2019. So this is like the height of the pandemic. So me and my brother, we both was just broke flat out, and he took like the last $30 that he had, and he accidentally signed up for some group, which if you're online you'll probably know it, but it was called Shocked, which they pretty much give you a whole bunch of flips that you could do. They had a whole bunch of websites. They had everything. All you had to do was have the eBay account, buy the product, and be able to move the product on eBay. So he randomly one day just signed up for it with the last 30, and he got an investment. And I saw him doing that, so I asked my parents as well for that investment. And we just started doing it together during quarantine, just really running everything up.
What you guys got?
You go first.
Go ahead.
What was your first product that?
My first product that I was able to sell was an overground pool.
Yo, what?
Damn. Like literally like one of those like floaty
Yeah.
pools.
Yeah, one of the pools that was over the, for the little kids. We was selling all those, and it was crazy because it was like a leap of faith. And I remember I used to always tell my mom, and she used to always say, just, I know we're all religious here, but she always used to be like, just pray about it. If it's gonna, because my mom crazy. She's a pastor, so everything got a spiritual thing behind it. But she always used to be like, just pray about it. If this is what it's supposed to be, it's gonna happen for you. And it was like, after I did that, everything just went.
How do you find your products? Like it's just a bunch of random products, but it's one of those, like you said, a hanger and then an overground pool. Like, how do you? It's one of those like low key things that people don't really think about, but like is low key used a lot and bought a lot. So how did you and your brother start the process of like looking for the right products to buy and resell?
Well, one thing that we both are is we're both online a crazy amount. We're both on computers, I'll say upwards of like 12 hours a day. So it was more just plug and play. Like, we were looking around for stuff, and then eventually we came across like a little tool that we could use. So like, it'll source pretty much things on Amazon. It'll tell you how many people sell it, so how much gets moved a month. It'll tell you pretty much the lowest price that you can sell it for. And it'll also give you a Google link that will literally look up the price. It will look up the item just completely on Google for you. So you have different places and different markets that you can find off of. And once you do that enough times, you'll start to see patterns, things that'll really sell correctly and things that won't. So you know what to stay away from, and you know kind of what to do.
So in doing online arbitrage, like you mentioned to Jaden as an example of like being your own wholesaler and building that. Do you recommend when a person's starting out to finding like those, like, I don't know if I'm using this word right, but those miscellaneous
Products.
Yeah, like miscellaneous things that we don't really think about and trying to sell it? Or do you think it's better for the long run to like create a product and then like doing it for way cheaper and selling that out on your own?
So I definitely feel like when you're first starting out, finding the products or more of the miscellaneous ones will be your best bet because like one tip that I could always give to people and I always tell people is if you're trying to find anything to sell to people, the easiest things that you're going to be able to sell to people are things that people need. People are always going to need hangers. People are always going to need socks. People are always going to need boxers. People are always going to need, you know what I'm saying, even just a plain t-shirt. That's the basis of all of our favorite fashion brands, right?
Yeah.
So if you have something that everyone will need, there will always be someone that will be willing to buy it.
Top 10 things right now off the dome because you've been doing this for a minute. Nah, 10.
Nah,
Top
10.
10 things. 10.
No. Before
We want 10.
yo, I'm clipping that. But anyways, before you give me that 5, that
Nah, I'll give him 10. It's cool.
10. All right, before
I like that energy.
Johnny got dumb tea.
before you give that 10, that's a prime example, y'all, of finding a gap in the market. So you have a market, right? And I always talk about the river. The river flows from A to B. And what he did is he found the market. He found the river of income, of money, and said, you know what? I just need to be in the gap because if you're in the river, you're gonna get wet.
You gotta find a vagina and stick your penis in there, bro.
And on that note, he's canceled.
Oh my gosh. He's wild.
Yeah, that's not seeing the light of day. That's not seeing the light of day.
Nah, that's going right in. That's going right in. That's going in, bro.
Johnny's villain arc has officially started.
Nah, all right. So 10 things right now. For lock it in. We're locking back in. We're locking
All
back
right,
in.
so 10 things what? 10 things that I sell? 10 things.
10 things. 10
Essentials,
now for the essentials for the viewers if they want to start doing this tomorrow. What are 10 things they can look for that they can write down right now in their notebook? Because if you're part of the legacy room and you're watching this, you got to get a notebook where you write things down when people like this are in here. So top 10 things right now if a person's trying to do online arbitrage that they can start doing and they can start selling tomorrow.
Well, number 1, I got hangers. Number 2, I got socks. Number 3, I got boxers. Number 4, I have t-shirts. Number 5, I have shorts. These are all big things. 6, this is an essential that a lot of people use, multivitamins, any type of vitamin.
Sauce.
Those are all big things. So that's 6 right there, right?
6.
Number 7, I'm going to say...
I'm thinking about it right now for the moms out there, like curtain rods and stuff like that, right? Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah. Honestly, that's not even a bad
That's not
question
even a bad, bro.
because
It's-
those are home essentials.
Like plates
And
and
that's-
like spoons and stuff like that.
Plates and spoons, so you could do silverware. So I'm gonna put all that together. 'Cause I'm not gonna cop out. So silverware, we could do curtain rods, which is pretty much home decor. That's a big thing. 9 are shoes, honestly, but not like you don't want to get specialized shoes like you feel me, Jordans or whatever, but just casual daily things. Nike runners, you feel me? You can get some Adidas shoes.
Those
something
Adidas,
calm.
those 3 stripe Adidas.
Exactly.
Those, how much are those? How much you think with just those shoes you can make off of like the profit?
So off of profit, I'll say
Would it depend on the season? So if you get the Nike runners, right, around
So,
this season,
we'll go spring and summer, just right around this time right now.
Yeah.
So I'll say if you put maybe $1,000-ish in, you could probably make around $700-800 just off profit, just off that 1,000
700-800. So that the profit margin for
he
that.
said that for profit margin would be
for
7.
profit,
Yeah.
just off straight profit of doing that. And then 9, this is why 9 or 10?
You're at
10.
10. You're at 10.
Number 10. What's one thing I
Vacuums.
actually nah? You could do lotion, healthcare, and pretty much skincare essentials.
Lotion.
That's actually something that's been really big. All right, that's something that's been like
right.
really big, like Johnson and Johnson baby lotions, even Neutrogenas and all that. Those sell crazy.
When you first started out, like, were you like kind of walking around the house and like looking at different stuff, or were you just kind of just researching stuff that made sense and people were selling using the website that you used?
So when I was first starting out, I actually wasn't doing any of those. I literally would just look up a site. Like one thing I looked up was. So I
Can you
keep.
ship 'em?
So when I first started, I kept it at my house, but now like I have storage units and everything all around that. That's where I keep it. So my basis for that was for like for foods, animals, stuff like that, those are supposed to be temperature regulated. Storage units legally have to make their stuff temperature regulated so that you can store food in them. So in the crib could be like 80 degrees and that stuff goes bad.
Yeah.
But if I keep it there, it has to be controlled at room temperature.
So basically, when doing online arbitrage, you have to have something. This is for the viewers out here, right, that are trying to do this. Have a location to where they can store something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the beginning, to kind of avoid those things, because probably broke and you don't have enough money to store it. So in the beginning, avoid foods. But if you find a niche and you're able to do that, and you have like a storage unit, like you said,
Yeah.
to put it in storage units. But in the beginning, avoid any sort of perishable items, right? Including cat food and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the third one that you've lost money?
The third one that I've lost. So it depends on how comfortable you are. Yeah. So he said that is it a bad question to buy stuff in bulk? So yes and no, because if you know how the product moves and you know that this is something that's gonna go, let's say you're shipping it to your house for you to ship out to someone. If you know that that product's gonna move and it's got like a day or two, if it's got like a day or two before it gets bought and has to get sent out, then by all means buy bulk, but never buy bulk on stuff that you're borderline on, because if you do that, you're gonna set yourself up for complete failure.
That's the rule for yourself, right? What's the rule that you take for yourself before buying anything?
I say a rule that I'm more inclined to like follow for myself is never half-ass it. If I'm truly researching and I know what I saw, then by all means be all in, but be absolutely okay with whatever happens. Whether I make 100,000 or if I lose 800, if I lose 8,000-9,000, whatever. As long as I'm 100% confident in what I'm doing, I know that I'm gonna end up seeing the results. But everything that comes along with it is just part of the journey. You have to lose completely. You have to lose, but you also have to win.
What's the biggest L you've taken financially?
Biggest L I've taken from this,
What product was?
I say for a fact, it was definitely when I was doing like really expensive shoes. I had, and granted, this is just me doing stuff, but I found a pair of like Cactus Jacks for an absolute steal. You feel me? Everything was good. I'm like, boom. I put it on Amazon and I even found a customer to buy it. Those shoes were fake. And I never even knew that. And the thing is, the person that sold them to me for real prices. So I was out, I say $1,000. Yeah, I got in trouble for it. But when the thing with Amazon is I had an invoice of the purchase. So I showed them that it really wasn't my fault. And of course, like they were skeptical or whatever, but they eventually understood and like I got my account back and everything. But for those 3 weeks, it was not a fun time.
So, do you also recommend like getting like top 10 seller books, and like it would have to depend on if you can buy it at a cheaper price, right?
Yeah. So everything is like at a price. I know that some people can resell books, some people can't. It just depends on what you're willing to do. If you think that
You got a
books
plug, right?
not even if you got a plug, just if you're willing to go into a market that you don't 100% know.
Amazon was created on the basis of books.
It was. Because Audible, which is Amazon's company, was really what Amazon started off of. And they even made everything through Kindle.
Yeah.
Which was straight books. Exactly. But it's kind of like the same thing. He kind of indulged into a market that while he knew books, he didn't know if everything else would sell. And he just said, you know what? I'm going to try it. And that's how we have it. He just took a risk. And that's how we have Amazon as what we know today.
I have a question too.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I definitely be putting like mad stuff for him to ship out.
That's crazy. No, but one thing I did was like even those glasses that you're wearing,
Mm-hmm.
I found on Amazon actually. It's like blue light glasses, but it's like different colors, like the black one, all brown one, and then the all white ones that you have.
Mm-hmm.
I found them on Amazon for like, if you buy 3, it comes with $13 on Amazon, or for $13.99. I realized I bought a bunch of these because I'm always like giving them out to people, and I'm always like either breaking them or like losing them or whatever. So I buy a bunch just in case. And I realized like I put some in the barbershop just to put on top of the stuff, and sometimes I'm using it and stuff because it does look tough. Like stuff, you could sell each one easily for like 10, 15 bucks. And because I've done that before. The times I didn't want to sell the glasses, I said, for me, it was a ridiculous price, but the guy gave me the money so quick. I was like, wait, what? I was like, dang, like I could really be selling these Jones for like, I could buy them. It's 14 bucks on Amazon for 3, and then sell each one with the case, everything that comes all included, for 10 to 15 bucks a pop, and make hella profit. So, would you recommend buying something like this, or you'd have to research it, right? I'm gonna send it to you. So that's some sauce maybe that you might use for the future.
Let me just.
But that John is like crazy, bro.
All right. No. Let me see. Matter of fact, cause I had the little tool on my phone, so I'm gonna do it live and
Real
right now.
Live right now. If y'all trying to get online arbitrage, this is a live thing right now.
All right, let's
watch
see
and learn and speak, narrate it while you're doing it, so people can have an idea of what we're doing. I found a product on Amazon for $14. It's the blue light glasses, horn rimmed glasses.
So the first thing with Amazon and like all their products is they have something called an ASIN, which if you've ever worked retail before, it's the same thing as like a SKU or UPC. So it's,
you can just scroll down right here, right?
Yep,
if you
all
just
the
go
way
on the
down.
product, and you scroll all the way down. You can zoom that, whatever. Zoom in if you really want to lock in. You scroll all the way down where there's all the specifications. It says ASIN right here. Continue, my bad. I'm sorry.
so pretty much what an ASIN is that's like that's a unique code that every single item on Amazon has, and that's the way that you could pretty much look it up if you don't have it. So so it's in the top 1%.
Depending on what product and stuff that you use, like what's a good profit margin that you're trying to get percentage wise of like
That's a great question.
you should like avoid, like if it's over like 15%, avoid this joint, run away from it. But if it's more than that, go for it. Yeah.
So pretty much the way that I do mine is I don't actually look for percentage based thing. I do something called ROI. So it's my return on investment. Exactly.
ROI, return of investment. Write that down, folks.
So for ROI things, I don't sell anything that's under like 30% ROI. So a lot of the things.
Give us an example, because I'm actually kind of stupid. Using the same example.
Let's break it down simple like this. Would a return on investment be, for example, let's say you put $1,000 in, right? And you get 3% back. Sure, ROI 3% is 300. That's very simple, right?
So your ROI, how you calculate it is, or pretty much how much you made back divided by how much you spent. So
say that again for the people in the back.
Your ROI is dependent on how much you made back divided by how much you spent.
Pause the video and write that down. Unpause it. Go.
So with these, and I showed you the math on it. So I make 326 back from whatever I spent on it, and I spend 398 on these. So I said 81% ROI because I'm making back that much.
The minimum is 30, right?
The minimum for me to sell it would be 30.
Okay.
So I would sell this because this is the 81.
80, yeah. 81 is.
Nah, 80.
81 is. Oh, hey, keep it coming, bro.
Is pretty much I'm making back every single cent I'm spending. So that's what I look for. I look for things that I could sell that I'll make a good ROI on, and I'll still make money on it. And everything like that just comes face to face.
That's fine.
You want to say something so bad.
Yeah, I was over there taking my little notes. Keep talking.
Bruh, come on, bruh. Say something.
Would Febreze be a good thing too?
Febreze is a good thing because a lot of people need Febreze. They be
stinking out here, bro.
People love.
What's the ceiling for you right now?
What's the ceiling?
Oh, that's
Do you believe there is one?
There is definitely. So my ceiling, it's on this board that I have in my room. So I wrote all the goals that I have for just everything I do. So my ceiling is to be able to fund all of the other investments that I want to do, whether it would be owning a laundromat, starting up a clothing brand, even just starting up anything, knowing that if that doesn't work, I have this to fall back on, and I'm not gonna go into pretty much hard.
But why do you have a ceiling?
That skill.
Why do I have a ceiling?
Why do you put a ceiling on yourself?
Because-
In that particular aspect.
Because everything really, I'm gonna be real. Everyone needs a goal, and your ceiling should always be your goal. Now, granted, you could shoot past the ceiling. That's completely fine. But you
Okay.
have to have at least something that you're aiming towards.
So
If
wouldn't
it-
that be more of a, because when I think of a ceiling, I think of a cap. So would you say it's a cap, or would you think it's a standard that you have for yourself, or an achievement that you want to get to?
That's a good question. I didn't even think of it like that. I'd say that's more of a goal, actually. Not really.
Yeah.
That's a standard that I want to hold myself to. But yeah, if you put it like that, then I guess I really don't have a ceiling for it.
Because if you have a ceiling, that means you're capping yourself. If you have potential to go even further, once you get to 100, then what?
You always burst through the ceiling. Like I said, a ceiling is something that you can create, but your ceilings can always move. Goals can always move. Your ceilings can
course.
always move. So of course, you could start something here, and your ceiling could get shot through, and then your ceiling can now move over there, and it's something completely
All right,
different.
a question more specific to you and your ceiling. Like,
Okay.
would you like to see yourself owning like a distribution factory or something of a higher order, where it's not just you like
Where it's
doing it
not
out of
just me.
storage units and stuff? You
Yeah.
have people literally packing and assembling for you, owning a whole factory or something like that. Would you see yourself doing that one day?
Definitely. I say that is the big goal that I want to definitely hit with Amazon. Just goals for Amazon, not for other things in life. I definitely want to own my own distribution thing because I feel like that would be something not only that I want to do, but something that I feel would take it to that that next level that's breaking something crazy.
So let's get to the nitty gritty of things, right? Because this all sounds pretty cool,
How
but
much money you got?
yeah, how much money do you make from it, for real?
How much?
Because to inspire people and to like have people have like a realistic, because I want you to be as honest as possible, like a realistic value of like how much does it make, how long did it take you to get there, and all that other stuff.
All right. So I know you're a businessman just like me. So when you're saying how much money do I make, are we talking monthly? Are we talking quarterly? What are we talking?
Let's
check it.
just do monthly,
Monthly?
because I know online stuff can vary. Like
Yeah. So I'd say on a really bad month where I'm not doing a lot, I'd say I could make around 5K easily
That much?
on a bad month.
a realistic month.
So
is
a
five.
realistic month that's just calm, I'd say around like 6.5, 7. Dude, if you got a question, by all means, bro, the mic right here for you.
Yeah, we bringing in a guest.
Yelling it out from
Nah,
back
bro,
here.
We got a guest. We got a guest. Daryl's gonna make a
Just pull it
guest
up, bro.
appearance.
We about to, you feel me? We about to have a camera right. We about to have it right here for you.
A little all over the place. We just do like a guest appearance.
Alright.
All right, so you said Johnny asked you real numbers and you gave real numbers. Respect that. How do you think you can make those numbers better right now in this moment?
Well, one thing definitely, and this is something that I've struggled with terribly, my spending habits outside of the business, because I know, and Johnny, I know you own your own business, so you can back me up. But sometimes when you spend like your own money instead of trying to invest that money into the business, it can stunt it a little.
Bro, I'm living that right now, bro.
I live that terribly.
When money, and that's one of the questions I want to ask you. Like, how many hours you put in? Is it like one of those like 2-hour thing and you can make bread? Yeah, because like for me personally, I have to work to make money, but also like being a business owner, I do commission based. So even when I'm not there, I'm making money. So like I feel like a lot of times and being honest and transparent, I can get lost in the sauce and spending that because I know that like it's a dripping faucet. When I'm not there, I know that there's at least 3 or 4 barbers there, and people are still gonna cut. People are still gonna keep going. So how many hours do you work?
For me, now I haven't been on it as much as I should have, but when I'm usually on it, I'll say I'll spend around 3 hours. So I spend an hour and a half when I wake up before I have to do really anything else, and then I spend an hour and a half right before I go to bed. The Amazon online arbitrage, and even like your thing is kind of the same thing. So you said it yourself how you still have people cutting or whatever. So even when I'm not on the back part of Amazon, there's still people looking at my listings and doing everything. So that's still happening, but I'm just not there. But that's why I have that late part of the night to do it. So let's say between I'll get off by like 10. So let's say between 10 and 8 o'clock, I have 30 different sales. Those sales are still coming in. I'm not looking at them, but then I have that extra hour and a half to see, okay, I sold this much of things. So I need this much of this product, this much of this product, and this much of this product. Everything's still there, but I'm just not looking at it.
I gotta.
Go ahead.
You can hear from there.
All right. So I got a question. I knew I know those 90 minutes is like crucial from when you wake up and when you go to sleep. There had to be like more time invested before.
Oh yeah.
So what was that original time like?
The original time was
before you had to structure it down.
So I'll say, because that's actually a really good question. So I know for a fact, maybe 2-3 weeks where I wasn't trying to sell anything. I wasn't doing anything. I was just doing the research to understand what products I needed to have, what prices they were, and everything. So kind of that backlog took me, I'll say 2-3 weeks.
What YouTube videos and stuff did you research, and what sort of stuff did you do?
Because like the reason I was smiling is because that's a question that a lot of people won't think to ask. But there's 2 people that I really watched religiously within that 2 weeks, and they broke everything down. So the first person, his name on YouTube is Flips 4 Miles.
Flips 4 Miles. Write it down, people.
This is no sponsors. He's giving y'all the sauce, real sauce.
This is real sauce.
You want online arbitrage? This is the episode, man. Stop playing with us, bro.
So Flips 4 Miles, he's really good at just breaking down the stuff you need for beginners, whether it would be getting the permissions from big brands and even Amazon to be able to sell certain type of brands or everything. Has pretty much step-by-step things to be able to do that. And he also posts Q&As like every single day, so you could just ask him. You'll get fed the information.
Do you pay? Do you have to pay?
Completely free. It's all on YouTube.
Tough.
That is free game.
That's tough.
What was the other guy? I'm sorry.
So the other guy's name is Fields for Profit.
Fields for Profit, bro.
They're Fields of Profit, but pretty much they're both friends and business partners. So I found one through the other, but they both do pretty much the exact same thing. So they'll do basic stuff, what's called ungating or permissions. They even source things online as well with people. So they show you the process of how to do everything.
In real time.
All in real time.
Just like we're doing right now in Legacy Room.
Just like we're doing right now.
Just we're doing right now.
So
yeah,
that's really the biggest thing. And one thing I'm gonna tell to anyone who wants to do this is just be ready to fail. I feel like that's the biggest thing with online arbitrage. Everyone wants money. Everyone wants to get somewhere. And I promise you, the biggest thing, you're going to fail. There is no way around it.
You gotta want this, bro. You gotta eat this, man. You gotta eat this, bro.
Take that L.
You gotta hold an L. Listen,
Johnny wrote the R, bro.
There's no one that's ever made money, just period. Whether it was Jeff Bezos, you feel me? Even Microsoft lost. You feel me? And he has bread to his name even now, but he lost back when he was back then. Mark Zuckerberg, he lost. He lost hella things. He lost hella bread, but he kept going and kept pushing because it's something that I used to always say. It's like that loss barrier. Winning's right here whenever you take that loss. There's always something that's right behind that loss. Now you can stop once you hit the barrier, or you can keep going.
It ain't a loss, it's a lesson. When I literally accepted that into my life, I try to tell people all the time, I was booty butt cheeks, bro, at cutting hair, bro. I was booty butt cheeks at literally everything I'm good at today. Literally, I feel like my superpower in the way I go through life and the way I'm successful, and the way why, like, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, why a lot of people are successful is because successful people not only like embrace this right here, they like they take it as a lesson. Like they love that in a sense. Like not for me. Like I don't love losing, but for me, when I'm losing consistently, I'm learning. You know what I'm talking about? Like even when I started playing basketball, like when I was in 8th grade, I was getting bodied by like these like I was in 8th grade at the time, so freaking all these big dudes that were like D1. You know what I'm talking about? I was going against. I was in Newark in the YMCA, so all these people, y'all, all these great basketball players going like people that can dunk and people that can do anything, and like it was rough, but there I started to learn like okay, now I know not to stand under the rim when I know that a bull can fly. You know what I'm talking about? Like, or if I'm under there, I know to put my hands up or do something. You know what I'm talking about? And you take those you take those lessons and you start learning from them and you keep moving forward. I promise you, I promise you, if you learn that and you can embrace that, there's no limit. There's no ceiling. Everything that you said about ceiling, there's no ceiling, there's no nothing. It's just how much of an L are you willing to take for you to take that next step to the next ceiling? That's really what it is.
So I want to ask you like one last question. Just to close everything off. You said like you could be doing better right now.
I could.
And you know what's stopping you. So do you plan to change that?
I definitely do. I have things definitely around me. I have people around me, I'll say that, who are holding me to the standard. But that's how that change comes. Because me, I'm just a hard-headed individual. You could tell me the sky is blue 30 days in a row. But for that like 31st day, I'll finally get it. But for that 30th day, I will fight you if that sky is green. And that's kind of how I am. So just knowing that, I feel like the biggest thing as well is if you're losing a lot, try to see the people around you. And that goes for everyone. I know everyone here has their own thing going on, but it's something that people tell me is be very mindful of who you have around you. Be mindful of the company you keep. They says it. My cousin say it all the time. But I'm telling you, and people say this all the time when they're like, show me your closest 3 friends, and I'll tell you the type of person you are. That stuff is real. If you have a goal to be a certain place and you have people around you who are doing things that are offsetting all your goals, you're going to end up being like the people you're around.
It's not an L, it's a lesson.
See,
it's just a lesson.
He not giving that part up.
I be doing like, I'm about to.
All right.
Whoa.
Oh, hold on. Johnny got some bars on him.
Hey. Everything said. Just want to thank you for coming on here.
Thank y'all for having me, for real.
That was some good questions. He dropped all sauce, all knowledge. Free.
I'm trying to learn, go to Legacy Room. If you're not doing Legacy Room, what are you doing?
And Johnny's on 10 today, but it's the Legacy Room, and we out.
Peace and love, y'all.
Bro, stop playing with us, bro.